today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series First Order Stormtrooper. The 3 3/4 inch line that Spot picked up from over at Walmart, in the only place I've been able to find it. And somebody actually mentioned to me that the Star Wars Black Series 3 3/4 inch figures are exclusive to Walmart. So, not sure if that's true, but needless to say, that is where I found these. The First Order Stormtrooper is recommended for ages 4 and up, as it does have small parts not for children under 3 years of age. And actually, in this case, it is true. It does have smaller blasters, so that does make some sense. So the box features the First Order Stormtrooper, and on the back, equipped with sleek armor and powerful weapons, the Stormtroopers enforce the will of the First Order. To check out more from Hasbro, go to www.starwars.hasbro.com. You can also go to starwars.com/The Force Awakens for everything Force Awakens. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Star Wars Black Series 3 3/4 inch Stormtrooper. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. With the Stormtrooper out of packaging, let's first have a look at the 2 accessories that come with the figure. We've got, first thing, a larger blaster, which seems very reminiscent of the original blaster that the Stormtroopers had in the classic Star Wars movies. For consideration, you also get yourself a smaller gun, a little small hand pistol, both painted in the white and grayish, almost dark gray deco. You could theoretically take both weapons and put them into the Stormtrooper's hands. I don't know if you would ever see the Stormtrooper necessarily with both guns blazing, but there are options there certainly. If you so wish, you can display them like that. There is also absolutely no place. Oh wait, maybe there is. I was going to say there's no place where you can house the blasters, but now that I see it, there are a slot. There's only one slot on the side of its leg. There's also a slot on the larger blaster. Let's check that out quickly. I actually just saw that. And yes, in fact, there is a section where it can house its blaster. But it only appears to fit one. There's no secondary spot anywhere I can see where it fits the second blaster. But that's okay. One would go in his hand, one would go on his leg. Just remove that for a second. Really like the figure. Still to be iffy on the design overall on the new Stormtroopers. Maybe if they had kept the little, little breathing little nozzles on the end of their mask, it wouldn't be so bad. I don't know, it just still to me kind of looks like a duck face. A little duck bill. But it's growing on me. I have to admit, it is growing on me. And it's cool to see these in 3 3/4 inch articulated figures. Still not sure why Hasbro just didn't simply give us 3 3/4 inch figures. They always say, well, we have lines geared towards kids, and we have lines geared toward collectors or adults, or the ones that are looking for more super detailed figures. But ultimately, you know what will happen. They will produce a ton of unarticulated figures that will ultimately sit on pegs, get clearanced, and then eventually sent back to them. Why oh why they just don't simply give us super articulated figures to start off with, call it a day. Kids will be happy, adults will be happy, everybody will be happy. The carryover also from Stormtrooper doesn't stop with the blaster design. The design for the most part is very similar to the original classic Stormtrooper, just a little more updated. It's basically the same sort of idea, but you can see how it's just been a little more streamlined. His armor feels slick, or the Stormtrooper's armor, male or female, does feel slick. Just the slickness of the plastic. To give you a scale comparison, let's have a look at the Kylo Ren that we already had a look at. Their Stormtrooper's a little bit shorter. Captain Phasma, of course, will be a little bit taller, but the Stormtroopers, for the most part, are relatively shorter than Kylo Ren, which I guess makes some sense. I would want to probably get a good couple of these. I'd display them then with Kylo Ren. And some people may be crazy. Let's move actually Kylo Ren out of the way. Some people might be more crazy for the 6-inch variety of figures, but to be honest, I think the purist in me just kind of goes back to when I was a kid collecting Star Wars figures. I liked the smaller figures, if I can be completely honest. So getting these superposable and in a 3 3/4 inch figure line is a preferred choice for me as opposed to the 6-inch variety. Speaking of posability, the Stormtrooper's head is on a ball joint. Seems to have a bit of movement going on there. His upper torso does have a ball joint as well. Hinged shoulders, which hinge out very easily. They also rotate the arms around. There is a bend at the elbow, but you got to be careful because there's a hinge. You got to find that hinge first. There's that hinge, and then you can rotate the hand accordingly. So there's a bend at the elbow, a rotation at the forearm, rotation in the wrist. There is no waist swivel because I guess a lot of it resides in the ball joint in the top of the torso. Then legs, a little more difficult. This one leg, well, it seems to be the type of joints where you have to rotate the leg to hinge forward, if that makes any sense. See the hinge right there? The leg won't go out. In order to get it to go out, you have to rotate the hinge to move the leg. That's the only thing I'm not crazy about when it comes to these. A single bend at the knee, also a rotation in the lower leg, and finally a hinge in the foot. Spot found these at Walmart, and again, I think that's the only place where you can pick these up now. Probably will want to go back and pick up the others from the 3 3/4 inch Black Series. 6-inch, yes, you can like those, but still, I gotta say, I'm a purist for the 3 3/4 inch variety instead. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Force Awakens, the First Order Stormtrooper 3 3/4 inch figure. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.